Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Before starting, subscribe and like the videos, it really helps a lot. The content from this video are taken from the web novel and manga series of Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Now please enjoy the video.
Part 4 Lunch. Up until now I've always eaten outside, but it's starting to get a bit cold out here. Therefore, I decided to create a building. Thanks to the fire, the stone table warmed up a good bit. And then after going that far, Vice Principal Gina's came along and got angry. That if I'm going to the point of creating a building outside, I should just eat inside. It can't be helped, so I ended up eating on the first floor. I thought Zenoba would be against it, but surprisingly he didn't say anything. Since Julie can't sit on the third floor. It seems there are no chairs for those with the social status of slaves on the third floor. Of course that's a local rule. Zenoba doesn't treat Julie as a slave. To the very end he treats her as a younger disciple or pupil. Even though I say that, since her position is still lower than his, you can still see various scenes of her being ordered around. When we went into the dining hall, for some reason the crowds of people split. Hey, it's Rudeus. Isn't he amazing? He really put the squeeze on all of the special students all by himself. I saw the time when he defeated the Demon King, a single hit. It was a single hit. I heard the rumors being whispered around. I don't remember putting the squeeze on everyone, and after I hit the Demon King with a single hit I was knocked unconscious with 3 more. However, it isn't really a bad feeling. I don't really want to get too full of myself though. The split in the crowd continued down to a certain table deep inside. Foo ha 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 ha. As expected, even you aren't good with the cold. For some reason Badigadi was sitting there drinking alcohol, which doesn't even exist on the school menu. Since his skin is black, it had changed into a dark brown color. I wonder if he's drunk. That guy's muscle is mystery meat. The surrounding students were giving off a feeling like they wanted me to hurry and sit as they watched. I wonder if this means they want me to eat here every time I use this place. Well, there's no problems if that's the case. Incidentally, Cliff and Elenalize are on the second floor. There was once a time when I saw that spectacle. Truly they are an idiotic couple. They eat while feeding each other with an on, and don't care about people watching while they kiss. Since I feel empty when I see that, I try my best not to approach them. Master, what Demon King Sama is drinking looks very delicious. Foo ha 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 ha. As expected of a dwarf. To understand how great this alcohol is with just a glance. That's right, this is a rare gem that a man was hiding in the hair on his head. Julie said something like that while pulling on Zenoba's cuff. Speaking of hairballs on the head, I wonder if it's about Principal Georg. I had heard that the dwarves like alcohol, but I wonder if that's the case for Julie as well. However, isn't she way too young even if that's the case? But, it seems I was the only one thinking that way. Humu, Demon King Sama, would it be okay to take one? Of course. Drinking alcohol alone is boring after all. Foo ha 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 ha. After Zenoba asked, he took a cup for Julie and she started to drink it. I wonder if that's alright. As expected, I wonder if she isn't too young. If we were to say it will be fine if we just use detoxification later, then that is true, but, well, I drank a little bit when I was 7 years old in this world. I can't really talk about other people. Now, then I'll have 1 cup as well. Stop that since you have classes. If Shisho is saying so, Baddie-sama, I'm very sorry about this. Foo ha 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 ha. Unable to drink alcohol freely, students sure have it difficult. While they were having such a conversation, lunch ended. Me? I didn't drink anything. Part 5 after lunch is over. There are more classes. I'm learning advanced class healing magic. In the 5th year's classroom. Unexpectedly, this is the same classroom as Pursena. If you were to ask what's so unexpected about it, it's that Pursena is alone. Rinia is taking a different class. It seems like Pursena mainly pursued healing magic as her field while Rinia pursued attack magic as hers. Normally Pursena is completely lazy. However, during classes she takes them seriously while chewing away at dried meat. Although as a special student, moreover feared as an ex-delinquent, recently she's been alone. It seems she was troubled being unable to make a 2-person group during practical skills classes, which is why she was quite thankful for my existence. If it's to boss, then I could hand over my precious thing Nano. And then it was to the point where she handed over her half-eaten dried meat. I gratefully accepted that and started tasting it, well, licking it. Pursena was making an amazingly disgusted face. Even though you said you would give it to me. Speaking of Rinia, recently, she's come to ask me a variety of things about attack magic. The majority of it seems to be things she doesn't know about melded magic. It seems that the case where attack magicians get stuck is generally regarding melded magic. I didn't get the impression that Sylphy was ever stuck, but I guess this could be the difference in the hard-headedness between an adult and a child as well. Today it was regarding melded magic of fire and water. How nostalgic. Evaporation and condensation. I gave an explanation about the mechanisms of rain, regarding fusion and mutual change. But, Rinia just tilted her head. As the water in the ocean evaporates, it turns into clouds. Inside of the clouds raindrops form, and eventually they fall down. If you can understand that much, then you can apply it some extent, but I received the doubt of, if the entire ocean turned into rain, wouldn't the ocean disappear nya? After teaching her, after the rain comes down it flows back into the ocean again so the amount remains the same. She made a triumphant face and returned with, that's a lie nya, after all the water in the Great Forest just soaks into the ground nya. From there I continued to explain, the water that gets absorbed into the ground is either sucked up by trees or else enters the underground water flow, and then she tilted her head again. Even though I say that, it's not as if she doesn't understand to the extent of Ghislaine. I'm sure she'll get it eventually. Speaking of attack magic, I was able to learn Saint class magic of the Earth attribute. Sandstorm. It's an upper class version of the advanced magic, Dust Storm. Judging from the sound of it I didn't think it would be anything great, but after I actually tried using it, a tremendous amount of sand and strong winds covered the entire vicinity. It seems that among Saint class magic, many of them make use of weather effects. The teacher who taught it to me said, there could be damage to the crops, so don't use it in the town. I guess saying that in preparation for the time you teach Saint class magic as a custom. In any case, with this I can use Saint class earth magic as well. Dase. Just joking. In regards to the other two attributes, if I have time I'll try to find a teacher that will teach me them. Incidentally, that Earth Saint class teacher said, I couldn't have imagined that you didn't already know the Saint class magic. According to Badigadi, my chantless magic attacks are already pushing the limits of King class. It seems they assumed it was only natural I had already learned Saint class. That Demon King Sama told me that the rock bullet I fired off had power equal to Emperor class magic. It seems that he's never seen any magician who uses magic with that much pinpoint destructive power other than Laplace. Then I asked if it would be fine to call myself an Earth Emperor class magician and I was told that calling myself that is at my own convenience. Since it was said in a way that had some kind of hidden implication, I decided not to do it. Nothing good has come from being talked about as amazing without reason after all. Part 6. Around the time of early afternoon I head towards Nanahoshi's research room. Her research room is spacious. Soon after entering, you get the impression of things jumbled about similar to a storage room. After heading to the room next door to the storage room, there is an experiment room that is covered in something like tile. Furthermore, if you head further to the next door of the classroom, it's Nanahoshi's bedroom. It seems a certain corner in her bedroom has turned into something like a food warehouse. I wonder if things like mice and cockroaches come out from keeping food in the same place that she sleeps. I understand it just from glancing at the features of the room, but she has the talent to become a hikikomori. Since I'm the one saying it, there's no mistake. Incidentally, entry into her bedroom has been forbidden. Fundamentally what we do is experiments relating to summoning magic. In the experiment room I pour my magic power into original magic circles she's drawn. It's not that much work, but it's repeated endlessly. It's because we're taking the approach, they're most likely magic circles that are failures. No matter how much money she has saved up, it's not like she has an infinite stockpile of magic crystals on hand. Also, there's a limit to how many magic crystals there are on the market. If she buys them all out she might end up attracting the resentment of various groups. Since that's the case, there were many experiments where she was hesitating to try it seems. I just kept continuing to pour my magic power into magic circles. Generally nothing came out. The paint would disappear and just the rough draft would be remaining. But, occasionally an immense amount of magic power ends up being sucked up and then some strange thing comes out. For example, a dirty black feather or a bug's leg. When I ask if we've succeeded, she returns with obviously it's a failure. However, since I don't know what is going on, a bit of stress builds up. Rather, what exactly are you trying to do with these experiments? It's for the sake of trying to summon a person from our world. They're experiments for the sake of understanding the theory behind it, the very first of first phases. If she were to complete a magic circle for the sake of summoning people, can she make a magic circle in reverse that sends them back? She doesn't seem to know for sure. Even though I say that, this is the very first of first steps. It seems like there's still a long ways to go. However, even this is fine. Summoning a person, you say. If you do the same thing, wouldn't that disaster happen again? Of course, I don't have any intention of causing a disaster. However, if I can get proof of another two theories, I can make a hypothesis on the reason why that disaster occurred. Is what seems to be the case. Failures follow along with experiments. Since there's such words out there, please don't think too lightly of it. There were a considerable amount of deaths in that disaster. This was fortifying the foundations. I don't really get it. Since this is the case, it might be good for me to learn summoning techniques as well. I would like to learn about summoning magic as well as that. Fine? Summoning techniques are my lifeline, you know. I won't readily teach it. Didn't you say you would teach me anything? After saying that, Nanahoshi went, "Che," and clicked with her tongue. After this current experiment ends, I'll answer one of your questions. 1. I don't think that matches up very well. After all of the experiments end, when I return, I'll gather together all of the experiment results, information, and connections and give them to you. Therefore, endure it for a bit for now. It seems Nanahoshi is irritated. Well, I guess I'm being a bit selfish asking for something when there's been no result yet. Just as I was thinking that, she gave me a single book. It's the book called Shigu's Summoning Techniques. If you want to know about it that much, research it yourself. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, but I have no memory of reading it. I'll gratefully take the time to read it. The experiments for the time being are that kind of feeling. It seems Nanahoshi is trying out thousands of different magic circle patterns in order to hit on a success and figure the laws behind them. It's an operation that will take a while.
That's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want more, and don't forget to like the videos.